What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Got some information, man. You know, tomorrow night, man, the PBC on Fox kicks off their restart. It's going to be a matchup featuring Jamal James versus Thomas Delorme, two welterweight contenders fighting for an interim belt. I think it's a WBA interim belt, if I'm not mistaken. Fight's going to take place at the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles, California. Now, that's part of the story, but the main story of this video is the PBC is going to announce their fall and winter schedule doing their telecast. And it's a very intriguing matchup that I heard through the grapevine that's going to be part of that release of fights that's going to get released tomorrow night. Luis King Kong Ortiz versus Robert Helenius. That's the fight I'm hearing that is going to be part of the fights that's going to get mentioned and get announced tomorrow night. Now, Luis King Kong Ortiz was last seen getting knocked out by Deontay Wilder in a fight that he was leading. You know, I had him up, 5-1 going into that 7th round before Deontay Wilder caught him with a right hand to the forehead as Luis King Kong Ortiz got a little lax on the ropes, lost concentration, and was a sitting target on the ropes. And, with Deontay Wilder, one mistake and it's lights out, and he got put to sleep in that fight. But Luis King Kong Ortiz is a guy that was a decorated amateur out of Cuba, southpaw, very skilled boxer, man. Very light on his feet for a guy that's probably weighs around 265, somewhere in there, as far as his weight goes. A guy that you've seen in fights do the Ali shuffle, man. Move around the ring, jab, move around the ring. He's done that in fights, man. Very light on his feet, man. His only two licenses that's come to arguably the number 2 heavyweight in boxing today, Deontay Wilder. He's defeated Tony Thompson. He's defeated Brian Jennings when Brian Jennings was undefeated. Knocked him out, actually. He knocked out and stopped Tony Thompson, who you guys know went over there to the UK and defeated the Great White Hope over there, Glassjaw, Shannon Lean Glassjaw, Great White Hope over there in the UK. He went over there and defeated him, I think, twice. So Tony Thompson was a guy that gave Vladimir Klitschko problems, specifically in this first fight. They fought twice. The first fight, he gave Vladimir Klitschko a rough old time. Cut him up, busted him up in the first fight. Now, the second fight, Klitschko was able to win that fight a little bit more convincingly and a little bit more easily. But Tony Thompson is a guy that's been went in the ring with some of the top heavyweights in boxing of their era, and that was Vladimir Klitschko. Now, he was able to defeat him. So Luis King Kong Ortiz, he beat David Allen too. He beat Dave Allen, another UK Great White Hope domestic level fighter. He was able to defeat him too. So Luis King Kong Ortiz is a guy that's a very skilled fighter, and he's going to take on Robert Helenius. Robert Helenius pulled one of the upsets of 2020, maybe a candidate for upset of the year for 2020 when those awards come out at the end of the year, when he defeated Adam Konaki. And that's undefeated Adam Konaki in his own backyard of Brooklyn, New York, in front of a large Polish crowd. In a fight that was very entertaining, a very back and forth type of matchup, Helenius was able to get the better of Adam Konaki and resurrect his career. Now, Helenius has been a guy, every time he's stepped up to decent competition, he's come up short. He lost to Dillian White, he lost to Duhaupas, and he lost to Gerald Washington. Now, Gerald Washington is probably a fight that really sticks in Robert Helenius' craw, because he was winning that fight. Winning that fight, got overconfident, got sloppy, ended up getting caught and knocked out in that fight, in a fight that he was controlling and winning. Now, he was able to resurrect his career with a win over Adam Konaki. He'll be looking to do the same thing with fighting Luis Ortiz, who, in my opinion, is a top 5 heavyweight, and that should be a very intriguing matchup. That fight will take place in the Microsoft Theater in Los Angeles, California, the same location of the matchup between Thomas Delorme versus Jamal James tomorrow night on Fox. So that's what I'm hearing, guys. Like I said, you don't get this from any other boxing YouTube channel. I bring a lot of matchups to you beforehand. That's what I'm hearing through the grapevine. I'm hearing that Luis King Kong Ortiz versus Robert Helenius is the next matchup. And I'm going to be doing another video that's going to pique your interest, maybe more than this video, about a matchup that I'm hearing about in the heavyweight division. I'm going to give you that clue. It's in the heavyweight division. But as far as this matchup goes, Luis King Kong Ortiz is obviously the more skilled fighter, but it's just going to come down to father time. Man, this guy's around, I think he's 41 years old. He looked great in the Deontay Wilder rematch up until when he got caught. He looked very good. He was outboxing Deontay Wilder and actually winning that fight with ease before he got caught. But you think about Father Time, man. You'll look great one fight, then the next fight, you'll look like your has-been. So you don't know when Father Time is going to tap you on your shoulder and say, hey, what's going on? What's been going on? Come with me. And let's go. We're here. I'm taking over. So you just never know with Father Time, man. He's going to tap you on that shoulder and whisper in your ear and let you know that it's time that he takes over, that you can't do the things that you can do before. Your punch resistance ain't as good as it was when you was younger. Your reflexes is slower. The thing about Luis King Kong Ortiz is he never has relied on speed, nothing like that, agility or stuff like that. He's very technical, so that's allowed him to be fighting at a high level late in his career. So I don't think he'll just fall over a cliff from one fight to another. So I think he has an excellent chance to win this fight against Robert Helenius. Now, Robert Helenius will be looking to catch him like he caught Kanaki. He'll be looking to capitalize on the age factor. Him being the much younger fighter, he'll be looking to catch him with some of the same shots he was able to catch Kanaki. He was able to let his hands go with Kanaki, catch Kanaki throwing his punches and catch Kanaki in between punches. That's going to be a little bit tougher with Luis King Kong Ortiz. He's a guy that's very skilled. He's only going to let his hands go when he feels he's going to land the punch. He's not going to be throwing unnecessary punches like Adam Kanaki was doing against Helenius. Therefore, giving openings to Helenius to punch in between those punches. As Kanaki was throwing those wide shots, Helenius was able to catch him with straight shots that's going to get to their mark quicker than those looping shots that Kanaki was throwing. You're not going to be getting that necessarily with Luis King Kong Ortiz. He's going to be a southpaw guy. He's going to be using that jab, and then he's going to be looking for the opening to land that left hand. That left hand is one of the hardest punches in boxing, one of the hardest punches in the heavyweight division. That left hand, to me, is right. If we just ranking hardest punches in the heavyweight division, obviously Deontay Wilder's number one with the right hand. And if number two could easily be Luis Ortiz's left hand. It's right up there with Anthony Joshua's uppercut and Dillian White's hooks to the body, his left hook. So which ones are the hardest punches? I probably would put Luis Ortiz as number two in my opinion, man. But he's a very underrated power puncher, so he'll be looking to set that shot up, which is going to make it difficult for Robert Helenius to have the success that he had against Adam Kanaki. Now, Helenius' best thing is to try to get this fight into the second half of the fight. Hope that Luis King Kong Ortiz age start to catch up with him. He starts to tire. He starts having stamina issues, and then he can start going to work and try to outwork him over the second half of the fight, and hopefully catch Luis Ortiz with a good shot and get him up out of there. The only person that was able to do that was Deontay Wilder. Was able to do that in the first fight. Was able to get him out of there in the second half of the fight when Luis King Kong Ortiz tired. And that's what Robert Helenius will be looking to do. But Robert Helenius doesn't have the one-punch knockout power that Deontay Wilder has, but he's shown that he does have power. He's able to drop and knock out Adam Kanaki, who had never been knocked down or knocked out before that Robert Helenius fight. So it should be an interesting, intriguing matchup. I would favor Luis King Kong Ortiz in the fight, especially if it's a first half of the fight knockout. I would 100% think it would be going Luis King Kong Ortiz's favor. But if the fight goes in the second half of the fight, Robert Helenius' chances will go up. I remember in the Travis Kaufman fight that Luis King Kong Ortiz fought just recently. He got hurt with a shot by Travis Kaufman. Got hurt bad in that fight, but he did a good job of holding his poker face. Didn't let Kaufman know that he was too hurt. But I could see watching that fight that he was hurt real bad from that shot. And he took him a while to recover from that. He didn't really let his hands go the rest of that round. And the round after that, man, his punch output decreased significantly after getting caught with that shot by Travis Kaufman. Robert Helenius will be looking to catch him with the same type of shot in the second half of the fight against Luis King Kong Ortiz, too, if it goes that far. He feels that he's a much better fighter than Travis Kaufman, so he'll be looking to capitalize on that situation. A very intriguing matchup between two heavyweight contenders. The winner of that fight will come one step closer to getting a heavyweight title matchup. And it should be a very interesting matchup. Now, Robert Helenius, I was checking the rankings. He's not ranked in any of the organizations, WBO, the WBC, the WBA, or the IBF, which is, I don't understand. He just knocked out Adam Kanaki, who was ranked in everybody's organization. Every time y'all looked in the WBC, I saw him ranked high. I seen him ranked in the WBA, the WBO, and IBF. Adam Kanaki was pretty much ranked in either all four of the organizations or three of the four organizations he was ranked. And for Robert Helenius to defeat him and don't even get in the top 10 in any of those ranking organizations that Adam Kanaki was in is crazy. So maybe before the fight happens, magically Robert Helenius would get ranked because I've heard that Luis Ortiz is he wants to get ranked in the I think the WBA. He wants to get ranked in the WBA and chase a title shot against Anthony Joshua. That's what him and his team are turning their attention to. They want to chase down, run down Anthony Joshua and get a fight with him. They've been trying to get a fight with him for 3 or 4 years now, as they signed with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing in the hopes of getting Anthony Joshua. But when Eddie the con artist always has ulterior motives, and his motives was just to get him under their banner to keep him away from Anthony Joshua. It would be easier to keep him away from Anthony Joshua, if he was under their banner, they could steer him toward other fights, and that's what they did until he ended up leaving Matchroom. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see what transpires. But that's the matchup I'm hearing: Luis King Kong Ortiz versus Robert Helenius in a heavyweight contender matchup going down. Will get announced tomorrow night on PBC on Fox. Let me know what you think about that matchup and who you favor in the Ortiz versus Helenius matchup. Let me know what you think in the comment section. This is JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. I holla.